Used to do that with my kids. Hey, hey guys, happy Thursday. We are back. I'm back with, I'm going to say it, Jeff Prystajko.
Yes.
All right, I got it for right. With Come Out With Pride 2018, Come Out With Pride. We're in the beautiful city of Orlando at the Citrus Club, and we're going to talk all things Pride. Let us know that you can hear us and see us. I let Yvonne Sandoval borrow my Facebook Live platform. Hey, Kim. What's up, Kim? Earlier for her Dating Doctor show, so hopefully you guys can hear us or see us. We got a thumbs up, so that means I think we're golden. You never know with this platform. The last thing I want is for Jeff to give us his whole history, share, talk about his passion with Come Out With Pride, and then all of a sudden you're like, I didn't hear what he said. We don't want that. So, all right, so welcome. I'm excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here.
All right, so hey Rebecca, we got introduced, we were talking about this, you're trying to figure out. So I got to Jose, but Jose, was that from, did we ever determine where that was from? Do we think it was Blue? Do we think it was?
Blue, it could have been my husband. You never know.
That's right, and I didn't know that was your husband until today, David. Who knew? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey Rebecca, we love you. She's the best.
I love Rebecca.
I know, and she's so supportive of everything that I do and pretty much
doing
everything
so much
in the
for us
community.
this year.
Oh, she is.
Yes,
Okay, we're going to talk about that. So, Rebecca, we'll talk about that. All right, so give us a little background on you. I learned earlier that you're from Buffalo. But, I want you weren't born and then all of a sudden running Pride, Come Out With Pride. So give us a little background.
So,
Isn't he dapper? She said looking dapper, Jeff.
Thank you.
Love the bow tie.
Got to coordinate. So, grew up in Buffalo, went to school in Rochester, New York, so I spent a good portion of my life in the very, very frigid,
It's so cold.
It's so cold. And then in 2004, after college, moved to Ohio, Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Akron
Which is
area.
not any warmer.
A few degrees.
What'd you go to college for?
I did my undergrad in IT. And then I got my MBA afterwards.
Wow, so you're very left brain and right brain.
Right in the middle.
You're right in the middle.
Right smack in the middle. Those tests that you take, yep.
See, I don't even know if I have a brain, so I lean to the right on the brain side for sure. I got the creative. What you do with technology is way above my head.
Wow.
So bachelor's and master's degree. You got your MBA.
Yeah, went right after that, and then I've always been kind of passionate about the theme park and amusement park industry, and that's what took me to Ohio. There's a big amusement park called Cedar Point, and there was a job position for being basically the webmaster with a company that was based in Ohio. So I was there.
The webmaster.
Webmaster.
I like it.
It's not a term you really hear anymore.
You don't. I haven't heard that in so long.
I'm dating myself.
But that's what people used to call the person who was in charge. And
Yes.
you were so afraid to go to the webmaster because you were probably going to be put down. Not that you would do that, but you're probably looked at and condescending because you were an idiot, because we're all idiots basically when it comes to technology. So yeah, the webmaster.
Yeah, it was a great time. I was there for 11 years.
Wow.
During that time, that was when I came out. I came out a little later on than maybe some other people who did.
What was the holdback for you? Because when I've had people on that talk about their coming out story, what was the holdback? Was it that, you could share, just what was your holdback?
A number of reasons, including, I came from a small family. I was the only child with a single mom. And so you get asked questions, oh, when am I going to have grandkids and things like that. So that internal voice that says, well, I don't know, I'm struggling with, things that I'm feeling, but you need to do this. And so some internal struggles. I think I wrestled with not having a lot of, maybe at the time, gay friends who may have been able to help. It's funny looking back, after I came out, I would talk to people, from who I went to college with, and they would say, oh, we knew from the moment we met you. Why didn't you tell me? That was
Isn't that funny?
My life.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? And then you think, well, you aren't bringing it up, so maybe I shouldn't bring it up. But it's a wonderful thing if they can give you that gift of, okay, I know you're golden, but what if you say it and it's wrong, right? So I understand the thought process there, but you're right.
And how times have changed.
Times have changed so much.
You know, if we had back then, and you know, this is just my story, but back then, if we had some of the television shows and the movies and the media that we have there now and the support,
Right.
it would have been different, I'm sure. But you know, it's my story, and in the end, I don't regret what happened. It made me who I am today. And you know, it eventually led me to meeting my husband in
Right.
Ohio.
How did
Grew
you
up
meet?
there.
Is that how you met David? In Ohio?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we. I'll just say online dating.
Oh, you did online. I get it. Online dating. Very nice.
Yes.
That works, apparently.
It did. We are a success story.
How long have you been married? How long have you been together?
Well, we have been together for 8.5 years and married for a little over 3. We actually had here's another fun fact. I've only been in Orlando for a little over 3 years.
Wow.
Before that, we got married at Typhoon Lagoon.
Did you
at
really?
Disney. Yes, we were both Disney fans. We wanted a beach wedding, but we also wanted something Disney. And it so happens, a couple months after we met, we did a 10-day road trip from Ohio to parts in Florida, Disney, down to Key West. The whole 10 days, didn't argue once. So if that says anything about potential compatibility, I think that was a pretty good sign.
That's awesome.
But, you know, the very first place that we went to when we got to Orlando was Typhoon Lagoon. So it kind of had just a kind of special place in our hearts.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so, you know, Disney was great in helping facilitate that amazing event space. We had friends flying in from Ohio and a couple of other places. It was absolutely perfect.
So what?
Magical.
So, of course it was magical. It's Disney. Shirley says hi. She said, you're so darn sweet, and so is David. Shirley Stamper. So, coming out, we talked about that, but what was it like when you were able to say, I can actually get married? I'm amazed as a straight guy. I can't believe we argued about this for so long. It seems so stupid to me, but it was a real battle for you and for so many, and I could never figure out what's the big deal.
And at the time when we were prepping to get married, this was around 2014 when we were doing all of our planning. We had gotten engaged in 2013. Marriage equality was still something that wasn't even on most people's radar. It was in a handful of states across the country, and when we were planning things, we knew that we had to go travel to New York to actually have the paperwork and everything done. Right. So it was, at the time, a very strange hodgepodge that people had to deal with. And I think, I know I dealt a little bit with my family. I think other families, I'm sure, have dealt with it. It was kind of a crazy mess because they didn't understand some of the hoops that gay couples had to go through just to get what a normal, straight couple.
It's so crazy. Like, what is the difference? I know the thing is love is love is love, and it gets used a lot, but it's true. So what difference did it make? It never made any sense to me. My kids are of the millennial and whatever that little younger group is, and it was never even on their radar to think that it shouldn't be normal. Meaning normal and accepted and just done. Like, why is it even an issue? Why are we arguing about it? Why are people getting so up in arms about it? Right. And that generation, those kids, really don't think like the older folks thought. But I love the fact that we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the big issue that we're dealing with. I think a lot of people just assume that particularly in the straight community, that after the marriage ruling in 2015 by the Supreme Court, that was it. We got what we wanted, and now, all right, we're done. That is so not the case.
Oh, good. So educate. I did not know that. I'm one of those people that thought everything was good. Like, we didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, we'll just talk about on a state level. 60% of Floridians have laws protecting them from not getting fired in the workplace or not getting kicked out of their homes. That means 40% of people in Florida can have that happen to them.
Oh, that's right, because it's not... Okay, tell them that. I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Sure.
There is still discrimination that is legalized in a lot of places. There are folks that are in organizations working to change those laws. There's a lot more support from both sides of the aisle over the last couple of years. We're just not at a point here in Florida yet where it's being given a chance to even come up for a vote.
Because
So
you can be
there's things that are trying
fired.
to change. You can be.
You can be fired for being
If
gay.
a city doesn't have an ordinance on the books that prohibits businesses from doing that, or apartments from doing that, yes, you can absolutely.
All right, so the
get fired.
equality part, the marriage equality part,
The marriage,
we're
we
good,
have
but
that.
there's still so much work. How is the, I didn't, I had heard that before, but I didn't realize we hadn't made as much progress on the protection part, because that's basically what it is.
Yes.
It's a basic right that we should all have. I can't believe that we have to define it, which makes me crazy on a whole bunch of different other levels, and you have to write it out specifically.
Yeah.
But what about on the adoption level?
And that is still a hodgepodge of different laws across the country as well. Some states, it's very much, I wouldn't say the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's simplified. But there are still some states that have it pretty much written that, they put in every roadblock that they can put in there to prevent that from happening.
I mean, but if Florida used to be, maybe it still is, you can educate me, used to be one of the worst. It was difficult to maneuver through that, and they fought you every step of the way. I just remember old days when Rosie O'Donnell tried to adopt a child from here, and it couldn't work.
Yeah.
Has it gotten any better here?
I would say things have gotten better. You have a lot of support, especially again at the local level. That's where a lot of things start. And I think the state level, it slows down. There's more work that we have to do at that level. But especially just at the local level, that's where we get more and more people engaged. And just things like, progress it's a slow moving
It is.
thing. But I think what you saw, especially with marriage equality, is people are seeing couples coming into these wonderful relationships. They're not harming anyone else. This is really about,
Why would
we
you
are
even
coming
think
together.
that? That's the part that makes me crazy.
And we throw the best weddings. Can I just say that? I mean,
No doubt in
you
my
get invited
mind.
to a gay wedding, cancel everything else, you need to go.
That is where you need to be.
So, people are realizing that, maybe I was wrong. And certainly, I love to see when people evolve. I think everyone evolves. I have evolved. I mean, I've certainly had my share of things that I've evolved on. So I don't fault anyone for necessarily thinking differently.
Right.
It's our goal to, let's have a conversation. Let's show each other, our lives, find some common ground, and work from there.
I think that's a fair thing. So I'm going to say something, and I hope that nobody gets offended by it, because I don't like offensive things. But I feel like sometimes on the other side, on the LGBT side, if somebody is having a difficult time understanding, that there's not always a lot of patience and understanding on that side either, because immediately your defenses are up. You've had to have your defenses up forever. And so sometimes when somebody's asking a question, I just want to encourage you, they really don't understand. So I would encourage you, not you, because you're already evolved, or evolving, but I would encourage you to go just for a second, remember their point of reference, and if they're taking the opportunity to say, I'd like to understand, give it to them and try to explain as best you can, or you're not trying to convince them of anything. A lot of them just don't get it.
Yeah.
And so don't be, in my opinion, I would like you, the LGBT community, to not be as reactionary to some of the things, understanding why you are, but I think that we would get a lot further if there wasn't this, if we could explain more and educate more. I think somebody just said that on the education.
And it's true. There are things that I know. There are things I know I don't know. But the worrisome part is I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
And for a lot of people, they just don't know what they don't know. And the more that we're patient with people and explain things about our community and listen, it's so important for everyone to just listen. Then that's where the positive impact comes in. That's where the change happens.
Correct, and I think that's where, we had this amazing momentum that began with marriage equality. And so, even 10 years ago, you just thought it was going to be this, all of us wanted it, but you didn't think you were going to get the momentum enough to get it passed. And so I think what happened is people began to realize, they became more educated, like you said, more evolved, and then people began to realize, why am I fighting this? But how did that happen? We educated them. We continue to educate them. Anybody who was screaming in anybody's face, that didn't work. It's the education that worked, showing the love, actually showing the relationships, talking about it and going, God, they're normal. They're gay and they're normal. It doesn't make any sense to me. They just didn't know. They had these weird preconceived notions about how it would be. And so the fact that we opened up finally, we forced the envelope open. Let's face it. I mean, that momentum went and there was no stopping it, which I loved. And I also loved that we were all passionate about it and we weren't going to let the defeats defeat us, if that makes sense. So talk about Come Out with Pride. Talk about the event itself. Give us a little history on it.
Sure. So this is our 14th year. 2005 was the first year we had Come Out with Pride, and the whole name of Come Out with Pride is based around National Coming Out Day, which is October 11th every year. So it's a day where people are encouraged to, we never try to force anyone. Again, this is everyone's personal story and everyone has their own timeline. But, encouraging people to, be their authentic selves. And that's what our whole Pride is about. We want people to come out, whether they're LGBT, whether they're allies. In fact, a quarter of our audience, our participants who come, are allies. And we just want people to be their true, authentic selves, no matter who they are. And, I think a lot of prides across the country are changing a little bit. You start to see that, it's becoming a lot about the parties and the music, and everyone's, coming out and, it's a big, huge celebration.
Right.
It is. That is a part of it.
Sure.
We offer, an absolutely incredible parade.
I know, I can't wait to hear more about the events.
Everything. We've got some amazing headliners. We've got. It's an amazing day. You can't, I think, have more fun in Orlando on this one day. But the thing is, and I love talking about this part especially. Stonewall, the very event that started basically Pride almost 50 years ago. That was about the fight for our rights and about going out and saying this is who we are, this is what we're fighting for, and that started everything. And certainly there was a lot more opposition back then. You really had to go out there and you sacrificed everything if you were an activist back then. Yeah. You basically were disposed by your families, friends stopped talking to you, you probably were fired from jobs. It was not a good situation back then. So we've definitely come a long way. But I think in a lot of cases, a lot of people, especially some of the younger generations, have forgotten what got us here.
Right.
So one thing that we try to emphasize with our event, and this is really, it's not all because of what happened 2 years ago at Pulse, but that helped Orlando kind of be a lightning rod for positive change. We want people to recognize that there are still so many different issues affecting the LGBTQ community, whether it's discrimination, whether it's the health crises. HIV is still very much a huge problem here in Florida. One of the worst cases in the entire nation. We need more help. We need more support. There's homelessness issues, there's mental health issues, there's a lot of different things that we're still fighting for. So part of our Pride is we have an initiative called Pride Takes Action. The last 2 years, we have tried to encourage people to visit some of the nonprofit organizations and groups in this community that have booths, and they're the ones doing so much of the hard work. And we try to funnel people towards those organizations, get involved, donate money, volunteer, out. These are people who are coming to Pride because they know, one, they want to celebrate the community and be part of this amazing community, but they also want to do some positive good for the community. So we want to give them every chance that they can to do those. So we're taking that a little further this year. We're even having a large tent, our Pride Takes Action tent, where people can come in. It's going to be comfortable, air conditioned. So I think if it's scorching hot, you can come in, take a little break. But that's going to be where we really try to educate people about some of the things that they may not know about. Terminology, the trans community. We're going to have a TV screen with a lot of different members of the trans community here in Orlando, kind of showing their stories. We want people to, even if they don't come away walking as if, they're totally changed, let's keep sharing stories. Let's keep talking and having that conversation. So there's more understanding and more empathy. That's what we want people to leave with. A smile on their face after seeing our entertainment, our fireworks, but also a little bit more knowledge about what's actually going on so that they can go out and let's do something.
Well, because there is a serious side to it. I mean, originally it was based around, like you said, come out day on October 11th. And so for a lot of people, they actually utilize that. That's where they get the strength, the courage to do what they want to do. And so there is a serious side to this. There's such an impactful side to this. Yes, the parties are fun because what are you doing? You're celebrating the fact, the progress that we've made, but there's so much more to make. And it doesn't mean that the rest of the problems or the issues go away. It just means that we have to kind of balance the two. So
Exactly.
love you, Marita, and Marita came on and said hi. Love her. She's awesome. The trans community, just on some that is relatively new as far as I feel like it's not a new community, but it's really become engaged in the LGBT, especially MBA, which is the local chamber, the LGBT chamber. But tell people what LGBTQ stands for. So people know most of it,
Yeah.
but I think you get to the Q and then nobody understands what that means, and I want to educate people. I
Sure.
think so. Tell us what that means.
So, sometimes we play alphabet soup. So sometimes there's letters added and taken away. But it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and sometimes the Q. Some people will say it stands for questioning, where people are just maybe curious and kind of thinking about how they feel. Sometimes it stands for queer. So there's some different terminology that's used out there. But it is a very broad spectrum. And again, we are trying to be inclusive of all groups, and especially the trans community. That is one of the biggest issues that this whole community is facing right now. So far this year, there have been 20-some murders across the country of trans individuals.
I had Gina Lee Duncan on, and she was talking about the murders in Jacksonville.
And especially, there were 4 there earlier this year. There were 20-some last year. And these are people who are just, walking on the streets and get brutally assaulted just because of maybe the way that they look or talk. And these are people who they have amazing careers, amazing jobs, or so much potential to go out there. Last year, our Grand Marshal was Rebecca Storzuk. She was the Sheriff's Department here. She was their first transgender deputy. And here you have someone who is literally day in and day out going and risking her life to go out there and protect the community. That shows so much about these people aren't any different. We shouldn't be treating them any different. They are just as much of a part of our community, and they deserve our respect and our support. So everything that we try to do, I would actually encourage if anyone is wanting a little more information about that, 2 things. One, I would watch this amazing show called Pose. It was on FX a couple of months ago. It was kind of a story of the New York City 80s ballroom scene. So kind of a lot of if anyone watches RuPaul, some of the terminology and fun catchphrases and things sort of came out of that culture. And a lot of, if you ever watched Madonna's Vogue, voguing was from that 1980s ball culture. And you had a lot of trans individuals and gay individuals. That was their outlet. They were ostracized from society, and this was the one safe place that they could go and be themselves. And so that has grown, and Pose is just a phenomenal show that really goes into that and is just absolutely phenomenal. The other thing that I would encourage people to look at, do a Google search for the genderbread man. So kind of like the gingerbread man.
The genderbread man.
And it is just a simple graphic that really shows that there are differences between gender, how people identify themselves with their physical features, who they love. There's different aspects of an individual. You can't just label someone, and it doesn't work that way.
Right.
There's so many different facets and so many different parts of the spectrum that I think that genderbread man really kind of conveys the uniqueness that everyone has.
And we have to share that when you share the video, because I want everything to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I know we have a big parade, right?
Yes.
That's the parade everybody knows about, the Pride Parade.
Yes.
So give them a little bit of a rundown of the week.
Yes. So we are starting on Monday. We're doing a 5K in conjunction with the Zebra Coalition. We're doing that around
Love that
Baldwin Lake.
organization.
Oh, they
It's
are
amazing.
amazing. Heather Wilkie, she's
Heather's
amazing.
awesome.
And Rebecca, who is helping us out this year and watching right now, she is doing a fantastic job helping to organize that. So anyone who's watching right now, after work, 6 o'clock, 6:30, you should run, walk, sashay, whatever you want to do.
You better sashay, god dog it.
But it is going to be so much fun. We definitely encourage people to come out and be a part of that. Tuesday, we're doing a film screening. It's a short film called Mar. It's a Portuguese film for the sea. And the director, William Vittoria, he's going to be there. It's the U.S. premiere.
Oh my God,
it's
how
already
cool
won
is
a couple of awards at a couple of other international film festivals. So that is just going to be a great opportunity to see a beautiful short film, interact with the director. He'll be doing Q&A afterwards. That's fantastic. He'll be at the venue on Tuesday night.
Love it.
This was before I moved to Orlando, but people who were here during the 1990s probably remember this awesome club where Ace Cafe used to be called The Edge. And they would have some pretty major acts coming in from all over the country. I hear it got a little crazy at times, but there was a LGBT night one of the days during the week. So one of the fun things we're doing this year on Wednesday is where Ace Cafe is now. A lot of the people who work there actually worked there back in the 90s when it was The Edge. We're bringing The Edge back for an evening. So it is,
At Ace.
it's going to be at Ace. It's
Oh
called
my God,
House of
that's so
Pride. So I was actually talking. I'm bringing things back. So
Love it.
Pose the show. We are going to be having, and I mentioned voguing. So Jose Extravaganza, who was a huge part of that 80s ball culture and was actually one of the main choreographers and dancers in that video. He is going to be there on stage along with some of the other Orlando houses. And they're going to have some amazing performances. You may even see a recreation of Vogue that night on stage.
Nice.
So I would not miss that for the world. That is going to be awesome. So, people who knew The Edge back in the day, come out. Any of the kids who like to go out and have a fun Wednesday evening, I think there's going to be some drink specials and everything that night. It's just going to be a great way for everyone in the community to come together. The T Network, part of the trans group that works with MBA, they are going to be having a presence there. So really, we're trying to create an environment where everyone can come together and have just an amazing time. Then we move to Thursday. That is going to be our weekend launch party. So we're
Your
doing
weekend
launch
party.
Yes, kicking things in high gear. So this year again, we're going to be doing it at the Veranda in Thornton Park. It's this wonderful outdoor area. It is in conjunction at the same time with the Thornton Park Wine Walk. So people who are there, it's a free event. Everyone can come in, see some awesome entertainment. We're getting Frenchie Davis from The Voice.
Huge.
She is cannot wait. She is gonna just absolutely stun everyone with her voice.
That's a beautiful. That's at Washington and
Summerlin.
And Summerlin, yes. I had my daughter's prom party there back in the day.
Beautiful venue.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So, and that's for again everyone. We want people, even if they're there for the wine walk, to say, oh, what's that voice? I want to stop in and see it. It's really for everyone to come in, and it goes to support the community. On Friday, there's going to be a big block party over at Stonewall, next to the stadium, the new soccer stadium. So they're bringing in a Latin artist called Luciana, and she'll be performing.
What is she? She's
Latin.
A Latin performer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
But each of the different, so Stonewall has a couple of different rooms. There's a bar downstairs, there's a patio upstairs, there's a back patio. They're all going to have different DJs that are going to be performing. So just another great opportunity to kind of get in that atmosphere and, get ready for the whole weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I know Parliament House is doing an event that night as well. So just a lot of different options going on in the community. But then we've got Saturday. The big day.
The big day. That's the parade.
Yes, the parade and so much more. So we open up at noon. Our vendor marketplace will open up. We're going to have over 100 and some actually probably I think over 150 different vendors and groups, organizations, and supporting businesses from around the community. And you can shop, you can interact.
Where does the parade start?
So the parade, we're getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to know where the shopping was. Where's the shopping?
The shopping is going to be, so people who have been to our festival before and knew that you could stand on Robinson and watch the parade, can't do that anymore this year. The marketplace is moving, and it's going to be all along Robinson. So it's going to be a lot more open space, easier to get through. We're also going to have sponsors along the lake, so it's just going to offer a lot more opportunity and give us a little more space. But we're changing the direction of the parade. So we're going to start at the corner of Robinson and Rosalind, go down Rosalind, go east on Central up to Summerlin where the parade will end. So we know a lot of people will be there on Central watching. It's such a great time. We're going to have over, I think, about 150 different contingents this year.
It's amazing.
And our theme, once again, is Keep Dancing Orlando. So we want people to feel energized. We want this to be a fun, we encourage people to decorate their floats, have music, dancing. We're going to have judges this year who are going to be offering a couple different awards on best float, best attention to theme, judges choice. So we're definitely making it a lot more fun and exciting this year. And we know that people love coming out for the parade. It's probably the biggest one. I know it's the biggest one in Orlando, so it's something we all look forward to and can't wait for that. So in addition to all of that, we've also got some amazing entertainment. In the last couple of years, we've had our headliner right on the amphitheater stage, the Walt Disney Amphitheater. This year, we're also building a new stage. So where we used to have the marketplace and the lawn by EON, we are making that an area where people can, if you want to bring a blanket or just chill out during the day and the evening, we're building our stage right there. And we're going to have the amazing and talented Betty Who.
Oh my God, she's awesome.
She is incredible, and such a huge number of fans. We know that it's going to be absolutely amazing. She'll be doing her 45-minute sets at the end of the night, right before our fireworks. On the amphitheater stage, we're also bringing in 90s R&B superstar Crystal Waters, who is
100%
awesome.
Pure Love?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a lot of different options, entertainment throughout the day. Our amphitheater stage throughout the day is going to be really family friendly. We want people, if you have kids, if you have, you're babysitting or watching someone's nephew or, whoever, it is really something for the entire family. You don't have to worry about, anything. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff for the kids. Over that whole area, we've got NASA. They're going to have some exciting things for the kids. Orlando City Soccer has some activities planned. So a lot of different stuff in that area. So it really is something for everyone.
You've got a big week ahead of you next week. I'm excited. 2 weeks. Oh,
2
it's 2 weeks. Oh, that's right. That's right.
I have
It's
a little
2
bit
weeks.
of no.
You have 2 weeks.
There's
No,
no
you have
gray
no gray area. All right, so we're going to share all of that. I know it's a lot to take in, but I promise you that Jeff's going to share everything when we share the show. He'll give the site where you can go look this all up and see how you can plan your day and your week around your days and your week around that. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be amazing. It always is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, when you come out and you celebrate people,
Yeah.
you celebrate together. We don't celebrate enough. We do it in our little groups, but we don't celebrate community-wide enough. And I love the fact that we're doing that, and that's what Come Out with Pride is going to do.
Yes.
Sign up for the 5K. Rebecca's sending all sorts of messages. Pet-friendly, kid-friendly. We got this whole thing going on. All right, so we're going to share everything, though, because I think it's super important. Any parting words of wisdom that you want to share with them before we head out?
2 things. Again, we want people to be happy. We want them to be excited, leave with some more knowledge, and know that we give back to the community. Every dollar that we bring in, whether it's sponsorship or people buying a drink or anything, merchandise at the parade, what doesn't pay for our festival will go back to the community in the form of grants and scholarships. We have students and nonprofits that benefit from people's generosity every year, and we want to continue and make that even stronger. But I guess the second thing is, you kind of forgot your milestone.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God, very good. Thank you.
Can't let that go.
Okay, so Jeff happens to be episode 250,
Woo!
people. 250, that's a big milestone. I was so excited when the numbering worked out. I'm like, very awesome. Jeff's going to come on. I'm so engaged with what you're saying. I forgot all about that. So what a blessing to have Jeff on here, to have you guys watch for 250 plus episodes. I mean, it's crazy that we're at 250. Oh my gosh, it's been such a beautiful ride. And I'm so glad to end the 250 with Jeff and come out with Pride. Yes, trust me. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Stamets is on from NYC. Thank you on the congratulations. 250 is big. And I didn't do a big hoopla. Sometimes when I do a big hoopla, it takes away from the guest. And so I just wanted it to be out there. So I could do a separate event, but I figured, you know what? This is so much more important. I love it. Sean Layton, what's up, buddy? I love him. Love all of them. He does bow ties, too.
Oh, yes, he does.
Oh, yes, he
love
does.
The wooden ones. Love the
he
wooden
and
ones.
Jimmy, they do those bow ties. They're awesome. All right, so we love you guys so much. Please go out and support Come Out with Pride. Get out there, get in your community, get out of your comfort zone if you're an A, which I didn't even talk about, the ally, you're on that side of it. But go out and support them. There's so many great things that are going on that week, and why wouldn't you want to be a part of such an amazing community event? Events, really, a whole week of it. So thank you. Oh, he loves the bow tie, Sean says. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you. Appreciate all that you guys do. We love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. All right. Mwah. See you later.